A car gives enormously freedom to travel to and from many places, as long as it's built some kind of road to drive on. Transport has and still are a strong drive inside humans' behavior. But on the other hand, this gives the world's population so many possibilities. And my Tesla Model 3 is doing the work to transport me and my goods just as good as any combustion engine car, but without polluting the surroundings and to the third of the energy consumption. Now, after using my Tesla Model 3 since the beginning of 2019, I can truly say that I do not sacrifice anything just because my car is electric. The demand for transport has made humans constructing streets, roads and highways almost all over the world. We have built approximately 65 million kilometers of roads globally on our landmass. Not all of them are paved. But as you perhaps know, the world does not only contains of land masses, and there is a lot of water, lakes and bays that is penetrating the country, at least here in Scandinavia. And driving on the water with your car has until now not been an invention that has made it to the mass markets. So let me just clarify that Tesla cars do not have the water car package option and cannot be driven on the water. But we try to overcome this issue by building tunnels under and bridges over the water. We have done so for the longest time, even before we had motor vehicles. And now we are building them bigger and longer. But they are expensive to build and needs to have high traffic volume in order to be economically sustainable, especially when it comes to cover larger distances. But there is a limit to how long a bridge can be. Sometimes the cost for the bridge is also simply too high and is not justified. Then we have to use the really old way of transport. I'm talking about a boat, or more specific, a ferry that can transport cars. Isn't it a paradox that several hundred years ago, when the motor vehicle was not invented, the waterways was the easiest way to do transport? Now, in our modern society, the water is in the way for humans to transport themselves. So, where there is no bridges and you want to bring the car with you, you have to use a ferry. At least for normal people that don't afford a transport by air. Most of the ferries are using fossil fuel to power themselves. But there is exception, and we have covered electric ferries before here on this channel. The ride over Öresund that I did some years ago was on electricity. A ferry with battery and fast charging. There is actually ways for standard normal cars to travel on water, believe it or not, but only under certain circumstances. During the winter in the north part of Scandinavia, where the temperatures gets really low, there is actually officially ice roads that is open for the public to get access to the islands, for example in the archipelago of the northern part of the Baltic Sea. But you can't drive a Tesla Model S or X on those roads because they are restricted to 2 tons and the weight for those cars are higher. Model 3 and Y works though fine since the weight of them is below 2 tons. During a drive lately that I did, I came across this small low-capacity ferry that was shuttling cars over this bay of the Baltic Sea. It is a cable ferry that runs on electricity. But how is the ferry powered? I don't find any batteries when looking around. The ferry is also connected to shore by a second cable, an electric cable, through this sophisticated mechanism, rolling out the cable and in when going back and forward between the 2 destinations. Well, there is different solutions to different problems, and I think that this kind of ferry was a really good solution to shuttle cars on this small demand route over the waterway. If you like this episode, please do hit the like button. It will really help the YouTube algorithm to spread the word of my channel and this episode. And also please do subscribe to my channel. And finally, until next time, have a great life.